What if I told you that beneath the soil of a small island off the coast of Nova Scotia, there's a treasure worth millions? And not just any treasure, one that has driven people to obsession, destroyed fortunes, and even claimed lives. For over 300 years, the Oak Island Money Pit has remained unsolved. And today, we're going deep into one of the most frustrating, fascinating mysteries in history. Let's start with the basics. Oak Island sits off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada. It's a small place, only about 140 acres. Nothing remarkable about it, except for one thing. In 1795, a teenage boy named Daniel McGinnis was exploring the island when he noticed something odd. A depression in the ground, a perfect circular hole. Around it, the trees looked disturbed, like something heavy had been there, like something had been buried. McGinnis wasn't alone in his discovery. Two other boys, Anthony Vaughan and Jack Smith, were with him, and they all had the same thought: treasure. The three teenagers started digging, and at first they found something: loose soil, layers of clay, evidence that this wasn't a natural formation. Someone had deliberately buried something here. But here's where it gets interesting. The deeper they dug, the more organized the structure became. At 10 feet down, they hit flagstone, a perfectly placed layer of stone, as if someone had marked a milestone. Then more soil, then more stone, at 20 feet. It was like whoever buried this treasure had created layers, checkpoints, warnings perhaps. The boys couldn't dig deep enough with just shovels. They needed help, they needed money, they needed an organized effort. So they stopped, and they waited. They told their story to anyone who would listen. And slowly, the legend of the Money Pit was born. In 1803, a group of investors formed what they called the Onslow Company. They were serious. They brought equipment, they brought determination, and they dug deeper than anyone had before. According to historical records, they reached 90 feet, and at 90 feet, they hit something solid, something wooden, a platform, a treasure chest, perhaps. But then disaster struck. Water flooded the shaft. Seawater. The diggers couldn't understand it. They were inland. How was seawater getting down there? Unless whoever built this trap had engineered it that way. They had connected the pit to the ocean with an elaborate tunnel system. A booby trap for anyone foolish enough to dig too deep. The Onslow Company gave up, but the story didn't die. It grew, it spread, and it attracted obsessed treasure hunters from across North America. In 1849, a new group called the Truro Company tried their luck. They dug even deeper, over 100 feet, and they found more evidence. A layer of coconut fiber, a layer of charcoal, symbols carved into the bedrock. And again, at the critical moment, water flooded the shaft. They managed to pull up something though, a small piece of metal, shaped like a link, a chain link, as if something had been chained in the pit. They also reported finding what looked like human bones. But they lost the shaft to water and had to abandon the search. By now, the legend was unstoppable. The Money Pit wasn't just a hole in the ground anymore. It was the repository of pirate treasure, or Templar gold, or Spanish silver, or something lost by the Spanish Armada. Every theory imaginable was proposed, and every theory brought new investors, new dreamers, new obsessions. Throughout the 1800s and 1900s, dozens of expeditions were mounted. Thousands, even millions of dollars were spent. Some people spent their entire lives chasing this mystery. One man, Fred Nolan, spent 50 years investigating Oak Island. 50 years. He mapped the island, he found stone markers, he discovered what he believed to be a cross made of stones, he found evidence of tunnels, but he never found the treasure. And that's the thing about the Money Pit. It promises. It teases. It gives you just enough evidence to keep you digging. But it never delivers. It's like the island itself is playing with you, keeping you on the hook. In recent years, the show The Curse of Oak Island brought the mystery to millions of viewers worldwide. The Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, have spent millions of their own money searching. They've found artifacts, medieval artifacts, ancient artifacts, coins and buttons and pieces of metal that suggest people have been on that island for centuries. But the Money Pit itself? Still a mystery. Here's what we know. Someone, at some point in history, deliberately buried something on Oak Island. They engineered an incredibly complex system to protect it. They created layers. They connected the pit to the ocean. They left markers and clues. This wasn't a random burial. This was intentional, professional, done by people with significant knowledge and resources. The question is, who? And what did they bury? Was it pirate treasure? Was it Templar gold? Was it something lost by explorers? And most importantly, is it still there? Some experts now believe the treasure was found and removed centuries ago. Others think it was never there at all, that the whole thing is an elaborate hoax. But the physical evidence suggests otherwise. The layers, the stone, the markers. It's all real. What's fascinating is that Oak Island represents humanity's eternal obsession with mystery, with the unknown, with the possibility that somewhere, buried beneath our feet, there's something waiting to be discovered. Something that could change everything. The Money Pit has cost fortunes and broken dreams. It's driven men to madness, and yet, people keep coming back. Keep digging, keep searching, because the moment you stop believing, the moment you give up hope, that's when you lose the game entirely. So what's really on Oak Island? Is the treasure still there, waiting beneath the soil? Or has the mystery itself become the true treasure? The obsession, the search, the eternal question mark? After 300 years, Oak Island keeps its secrets. And somewhere, another treasure hunter is probably sharpening their shovel, ready to try their luck. Because that's what the Money Pit does. It calls to us. It whispers from beneath the earth, and we can't help but answer.